Back in 2018, Kamaru Usman defeated Emil Meek via unanimous decision. After the fight, during his Octagon interview, Usman made a statement that caught everyone's attention when he said he was only fighting at 30%. That comment didn't sit well with UFC president Dana White at the time. Usman said he fought the entire bout sitting at about 30% of his capability and that everybody knew what he was capable of. Even at 30%, he claimed he still dominated a tough opponent. Dana White wasn't pleased with that remark, responding that while Usman was indeed a tough guy who could impose his will, it wasn't the time to start talking as if he had just delivered a knockout. Dana explained that such comments could sound arrogant, especially when the fight didn't end in a finish and the crowd wasn't impressed. He added sarcastically that if Usman was at 30%, maybe next time he should use 60%, calling it one of the most ridiculous things he'd ever heard someone say, especially when getting booed out of the arena. Years later, on the most recent episode of the Pound for Pound podcast, Kamaru Usman and Dana White revisited that memorable moment. The conversation revealed how their relationship has evolved over time. Usman acknowledged that there were times in the past when he believed Dana didn't like him, which made him feel the same way toward Dana. He admitted that he had once thought Dana was against him, but now he understands the respect that existed beneath the surface. During their discussion, Dana White surprised many by admitting that he now considers Kamaru Usman the greatest welterweight of all time. He told Usman directly that despite the criticism and the history between them, he has to give Usman his flowers for what he has accomplished in the sport. Usman laughed as they looked back on the 30% comment, acknowledging how young and impulsive he was at the time. Dana responded lightheartedly, repeating the phrase, 30%, with a grin, saying it had become one of his favorite memories to look back on. Usman admitted that he had learned a lot since then and that his mindset had completely changed. Dana concluded the conversation by telling Usman that, despite all the ups and downs, he now sees him as the greatest welterweight of all time, a statement that visibly touched Usman, who humbly appreciated the acknowledgement. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Frankie Edgar recently shared a funny and lighthearted disagreement in the gym over something as simple as a 90-degree angle versus a 45-degree angle. It all started during a workout session when the fighters were performing wall exercises. As the team pushed through their final sets, Frankie corrected someone's position, pointing out that the proper angle should be 45 degrees. Khabib immediately disagreed, insisting it was actually 90 degrees. While the rest of the gym laughed, no one wanted to be the one to tell Khabib he might be wrong. Frankie, smiling confidently, stood his ground, while Khabib jokingly defended his point. The lighthearted argument drew laughter and applause from everyone around them. As the discussion continued, Khabib, still convinced of his perspective, humorously used his Hall of Fame status as leverage, reminding Frankie and the others that he was the youngest Hall of Famer in UFC history. He joked that he was in the Hall of Fame at 34 while others only made it at 54. Frankie playfully fired back, maintaining that his calculation of the angles was correct. The two went back and forth, laughing as they exaggerated their arguments. Khabib even tried to reason that 45 and 90 degrees together made 180, confusing the math even more, which led to more laughter in the room. The moment captured the bond and playful rivalry between two legends of the sport. Despite their disagreement, the exchange showed the respect and friendship they share. Khabib's teammates tried to mediate, but Khabib kept insisting he was right, joking that the others should have some respect for his point of view. Frankie, smiling, replied that even if Khabib was a Hall of Famer, math didn't change. Their banter continued, with Khabib humorously explaining geometry in his own creative way, while Frankie shook his head, trying not to laugh. The entire gym was filled with laughter and applause as both fighters kept the playful debate going. In the end, it wasn't about who was right or wrong. It was about two respected champions sharing a fun, human moment. The incident gave fans a glimpse of Khabib's personality outside the cage, competitive, funny, and full of confidence. Frankie's calm and witty reactions made the exchange even more entertaining. The laughter, jokes, and camaraderie reminded everyone why both men are loved in the MMA community. Their interaction proved that even world champions can debate over something as small as an angle and still make it a memorable moment for everyone watching. Khamzat Chimaev recently held a Q&A session with fans where he shared his thoughts on several fighters and future matchups. During the conversation, he responded to recent comments made by former UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira. A few weeks earlier, Glover had praised Khamzat for his talent and intensity but mentioned that one thing he didn't appreciate was how Khamzat sometimes spars too hard with fighters who are below his level. Glover said that while he admires Khamzat's fighting style, energy, and confidence, he has occasionally seen him go too hard during training sessions with less experienced opponents. Despite that critique, Glover emphasized that Khamzat is an amazing fighter who always backs up his words inside the octagon. When asked about those remarks, Khamzat responded with his trademark confidence and humor, claiming he could beat both Alex Pereira and Glover Teixeira at the same time. He laughed while saying that if he fought Pereira, he could even defeat him along with his coach, referring to Glover, who trains Alex Pereira. Khamzat joked that he would beat them both together, making it clear that he believes he is on another level compared to anyone in their division. His bold statement was received with excitement and amusement from fans, who are used to his fiery personality and fearless attitude toward calling out big names. Khamzat also discussed the upcoming potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Della Maddalena. He shared his view that while both fighters are strong and technically skilled, Islam will likely rely more on his wrestling to secure a victory. He estimated the fight to be a close contest, giving Makhachev a 55% chance and Maddalena a 45% chance, but noted that Islam's grappling and control would make the difference. Khamzat praised both fighters for their ability and heart, saying it would be an exciting fight to watch, especially since Islam would be moving up in weight to take on a bigger challenge. During the session, Khamzat also shut down speculation about ever fighting Conor McGregor or Khabib Nurmagomedov. He dismissed the idea quickly, saying Conor's time in the sport is finished and that Khabib is retired and no longer fighting. Khamzat said there's no point in bringing up fights that will never happen and that his focus is on active fighters and future title opportunities. His words showed confidence but also respect toward both men, acknowledging their legacies while making it clear that his own journey is still unfolding. Khamzat ended the Q&A by expressing his excitement for what's next in his career, reaffirming his belief that he can beat anyone who steps into the octagon with him. Della Maddalena recently shared his thoughts on his upcoming fight against Islam Makhachev, addressing the ongoing discussion about his size advantage. Contrary to what many fans and analysts believe, Maddalena said he doesn't think his size will play a significant role in the matchup. He explained that while people might assume his natural frame as a welterweight would give him an edge, he actually sees the situation differently. According to him, the move up in weight could benefit Makhachev more than it does him. Maddalena pointed out that cutting less weight often allows a fighter to feel stronger, fresher, and more energetic on fight night, and he expects to face the best version of Islam Makhachev in the octagon. Maddalena downplayed any idea that he's an unusually large welterweight, describing his weight cut as manageable and relatively easy compared to what many fighters go through. He said he doesn't need to go to extreme measures or suffer through brutal dehydration to make the limit. In fact, he joked that he could still sneak in a few slices of pizza during fight week and comfortably make weight. While he acknowledged that there is always some effort involved in cutting weight, Maddalena said the final few pounds only take a couple of hours to shed on Friday morning, and the process is simple and controlled. His approach reflects confidence in his preparation and discipline, as well as a mature understanding of his body and conditioning. When discussing the physical aspects of the matchup, Maddalena reiterated that he doesn't see himself as particularly big for the division. He described himself as a well-sized welterweight, neither too large nor too small. He emphasized that the fight will come down to skill, strategy, and execution rather than size or strength. Maddalena praised Makhachev's technical abilities and discipline, acknowledging that he expects a highly competitive and intelligent fight. His comments highlight his respect for Makhachev's skill set while maintaining belief in his own abilities. Maddalena made it clear that he's focused on staying sharp and bringing his best version into the cage. He dismissed any narrative suggesting that he will rely on physical advantages, insisting instead that success will come from his timing, accuracy, and composure under pressure. Maddalena's calm and confident demeanor reflected a fighter who understands the mental and technical demands of facing one of the most dominant champions in the UFC today, showing both humility and quiet assurance ahead of one of the biggest challenges of his career. At UFC Vegas 111, Gabriel Bonfim secured an impressive victory over Randy Brown via TKO in the second round, but the result stirred some controversy. Merab Dvalishvili was among those who felt the stoppage came too early, suggesting that Brown was still capable of defending himself and could have continued the fight. Many fans echoed his sentiment online, debating whether the referee had acted too quickly or made the right call to protect the fighter. Despite the differing opinions, the win marked another dominant performance for Bonfim, who continues to build momentum in the welterweight division. After the fight, Bonfim expressed complete satisfaction with his performance and confidence in his striking abilities. He explained that striking has always been his strength and the foundation of his fighting style. Bonfim credited his success to staying disciplined and sticking to the game plan his team had designed. He said that he felt prepared for the main event spotlight, having visualized and trained specifically for that moment. The Brazilian fighter emphasized that nothing about the stage or the pressure felt new to him because he had mentally prepared himself for this opportunity. Speaking about the stoppage controversy, Bonfim made it clear that he doesn't concern himself with others' opinions. He stated that his focus is on improving as a fighter, not debating referee decisions. Bonfim highlighted that his recent fights have proven the progress he's made, referencing previous performances against skilled opponents like Josh Thompson and Randy Brown. According to him, every fight is part of his evolution, whether it ends in victory or defeat. He believes that both wins and losses serve as valuable lessons, helping him level up each time he steps into the octagon. Bonfim also took the opportunity to call for tougher competition. Confident in his abilities, he said that he now deserves a top 10 opponent in the welterweight division. He explained that his recent performances have shown that he belongs among the best, and he's ready to continue climbing the rankings. Bonfim made it clear that he's not looking for easy fights. Instead, he wants to face higher-ranked opponents who can test his skills and push him toward a title opportunity. He ended his post-fight interview by thanking his team and supporters, promising that he will return even better in his next outing, ready to showcase another evolved version of himself in pursuit of UFC gold.